Yep, people. Let's go. This is Kegus. The Conversation Continues series is back. Let's listen to that song as I get myself together. Let me have a drink, people. You love music. A lot of people asking me, akatabo ka politics byache ebyo bye musoma ebyo. It's not politics. Tales, T-A-L-E-S, reality. All right. Let's go. Get your books, people. 91 is the page. Poem titled Nightmares of a Dictator. What's a nightmare? You sleep well at night? You have bad dreams? What do you dream about when you sleep? You sleep on an empty stomach? Starving? Hungry? Stressed? Thinking? And a dictator. What's a dictator? What is to dictate? To impose. To enforce. To listen to one side, yourself. So the titled poem, Nightmares of a Dictator. Let's go. Page 91. Yeah. Don't call me a dictator, people. It's the one-man show. Love you. Kegus now the dictator. You don't have anybody in your show talking. It's only your opinion. All right, let's go. Sweating and trembling, he wakes up from the deep slumber. Rattled, he sits up on the wide mahogany bed, as heavy beads of sweat trickle down his soft cheeks, pouring onto the expensive silk linen. A strange dream tormented him in his sleep. They cannot assemble at City Square, he shouted. Afande, there are tens of thousands, SFC commander had replied. Are they chanting people power slogans? He asked. Yes, they are. Commander had responded. And the bishops are walking with Bibles in front of them. Commander, he continued. He gets off the bed and checks underneath it, looking for his freshly oiled AK rifle. I will shoot them all, he murmurs to himself. Wow. I'll shoot them all. Is that a good dream? He wakes up in a dream, murmuring to himself, they cannot assemble at City Square. So we are seeing a situation playing out here. If you have what I would call a public order management, something like that. I'm not familiar with a lot of these things that happen in parliaments, but I'm aware that they would resolve to implement your right of assembly in terms of freedom. Does that create fear? They are chanting people power slogans, he had asked. Together with the bishops, you see where religion comes in play. Religion is a uniting factor. But can it unite against something? Conversation continues. can you play the religious card in a situation like this to create fear, to change a government? I told you, I'm getting tough on this one. Why is he oiling his gun? Is it rusting away? Tell me, those who know about ammunitions, is it trigger happy? I'll shoot you. The man with the golden gun. What is a gun? The gun is it's a killing machine, isn't it? It's not a toy. It's not candy. Disturbing visions had appeared in another dream. Visions of a small, democratically elected parliament debating issues of national importance without his interference. This had sent tremors down his spine. What's the opposite of small? Big. So does that mean the parliament is beyond proportion? Whatever. What is the parliament? What's the role of the parliament? It's a legislative chamber. Legislature. Executive. Judiciary. Let's go back to that song again, people. Just loved it. Why are they clapping? Okay, I get it. I think this is an artist singing about an encounter with the president of Uganda. Here we go. Can I translate? I think he's regretting having encountered the president for the reasons he says in the song. Right, let's continue, people. That was just right. In another vision, the people are joyful and content. Construction of the new hospital at Lubowa was complete and delivering free health care to all. The city was orderly without traffic congestion, while the encroachers on the wetlands had been relocated and flooding had stopped in the city. How did they achieve this? He had screamed in his sleep. The soldiers were no longer patrolling the streets. The LDU had stopped whipping people and been disbanded. The day of the new dawn awakens in a dream. You see, there's a saying that dreams can come true. Don't quote me on this one saying, I wish dreams kegus. Is it love? Probably. Yeah, you can dream of love, if somebody's on your heart. She's nice, childhood dreams, sweetheart dreams, something similar. But in this context now, we're looking at the president having two visions in a dream, one against the other. Because I would assume with power, these are things that can be achieved. Why is he not able to achieve the construction of the new hospital, delivering free health care, organizing the rule of law, etc.? Let's continue before we come back to the discussion. This had made him gasp, nearly choking him in his sleep. In another vision, after elections, a former leader hands over power to a newly elected leader. This had really struck at his heart, almost giving him a heart attack. Chairman, he had screamed at the Electoral Commission, who declared the results. This presents a situation. I think what Victor is trying to present here, that if the Electoral Commission validates the results of an election, can they be announced as they are? Why do you go for elections? To elect your leaders. They're not appointed, isn't it? Why was the swearing-in ceremony allowed to take place? Who had tallied the results? Couldn't the boxes have been stuffed with pre-ticked ballots? These questions had disturbed his sleep. Idiots, he screamed. Who hands over power? Shh, shh. You are shouting, you are shouting, Muzei. Are you okay? Mama, sleeping next to him, had asked. Fully awake now, he collects his AK rifle from underneath his bed and rests it by his pillow before returning to his sleep. He collects his AK. Shh, shh. You are shouting in your sleep. Mama tells him. I'm assuming that's the wife. This is a nightmare dream. Those who are enjoying the book now, it's a new spin, a new take. Nightmares. So this poem is written in a technique I would call imagery. So this is an imagined situation. Of course, Victor isn't in anybody's dream here, you know what I'm saying? But quote unquote, in situations like this, in a nightmare situation like this, what does it tell us? Can the president make erratic decisions when he wakes up from his dream? Is he paranoid? What's going on? Let's go back. In another vision, so we have 2, 3 visions appearing in the same dream. The first one is a disturbing vision that appeared in another dream. So why is Victor using the visions against the he's alluding to what should have been? Check this out. Visions of a small democratically elected parliament. In another vision, people were joyful and content. In another vision, after elections, a former leader handing over power. The conversation continues. Handing over power to a democratically elected leader. Is this what Victor is telling us, that the president is preparing to hand over power? Is the president handing over power at the next elections? Tell me. So, let's go back to page 95, people. Page. What page was it? 75. Sorry, guys. Page 75. Let's get this cleared out. Come on. No, it was page 91. You see what happens. Looking for his freshly oiled AK rifle. He repeats this towards the end again. When he's fully awake, he collects his AK rifle from underneath his bed and rests it by his pillow before returning to his sleep. So, the same situation here is happening. The same situation is happening here. What is the role of the gun in this poem? He rests the gun underneath his bed before returning to sleep. I leave that for you to think about. It's a very tough poem, people. It's a very tough. But anyway, let me summarize it. In summary, the poem presents a picture of doom and gloom. Handing over power appears in the vision. Jubilation and celebration appears in the vision. And the use of Lubowa Hospital, free health care, traffic, whatever, the city looks beautiful, and all that is idealized as what probably the president has failed to deliver. So, does handing over power fix that? But that plays against the narrative of the gun. Is the gun the role of law? Emundu yefuga. This doesn't get well. Doesn't sit comfortably with the president. He goes back to sleep. Rest assured that the gun is underneath his bed, oiled. The conversation continues. So, those who are reading the book, you have your own interpretation of what you would read. But in summary, that is how you'd capsulize things and pretty much leave everything for food for thought. Have a nice one.